So we were supposed to finish our Venn diagrams and our character relationship charts. Okay, so we did our relationship table with Nemo. Sorry. Yeah, with Dory and Marlin, right? So for homework, you were supposed to fill out the rest of the Venn diagrams, right? Did you do it, Jon Snow? So let's start with Paige. I don't know if we're gonna have time to check all of our homework. I think maybe just one Venn diagram. So I sent links home for everyone to do some research, but just looking at the pictures for now. What do we notice that is similar or that is different between a great white shark and Bruce? Who can tell me? What do we see that is different? Lily, tell me.
I see that Bruce is kind of a grayish blue, but the great white shark was a gray only.
Yeah, so great white sharks are gray, and Bruce is more of a blue color. Okay. What else do we notice? Mid A.
Great white shark eat fish. Bruce don't eat fish.
Okay, so eats fish. And Bruce, well, we know he doesn't want to eat fish, right? We'll say doesn't want to eat fish because he's trying not to, but sometimes he's unable to control his feelings. Okay, what else do we see that is the same or different? Jon Snow, looking at these two pictures, do you see anything that's the same about these two?
All big shark, all big fish.
They're big. Okay, we can tell that. They are very large. Sierra, do you see anything else that's similar just by looking at these pictures?
They both have sharp teeth.
Mm-hmm. Do they have a little bit of teeth or a lot of teeth?
Lots of sharp teeth.
Many sharp teeth. Bill, tell me.
They are both great white shark.
Yes, well, we know that. But good observation. Anything else?
They have the same number of fins.
Okay. Okay, let's look at our article and see if we can figure out any more similarities or differences between the two. Their physical appearance or their characteristics. They have slate gray upper bodies to blend in with the rocky coastal sea floor, but they get their name from universally white underbellies. So we've already said that these two are, but what is similar about these two? Lingqi?
Is they both have lots of rows of teeth.
Yes, we have that already. But where it says here, it says they get their name from their universally white underbellies. Does everyone see that here? So, white underbellies. Is that a similarity or is that a difference between the two? Here, this
Both
part, is that white?
Some have the white underbelly.
Yep, correct. So we can say they both have white underbellies. So an underbelly is just the part of your stomach, the bottom part of your stomach. So they're both white. Do we see that there? Let's see. Does Bruce hang out with other sharks, or does he hang out by himself? B.
Bruce hangs with other sharks.
Yep, he hangs out with other sharks. So let's see if great white sharks are social animals. Social means that you hang out with others. Are great white sharks social animals? Okay, so it says they are sometimes seen in pairs or small groups feeding on a carcass, with the largest individuals feeding first. Great white shark can be very social. So what do we think? Is this a similarity or is this a difference, Pizza?
Difference.
Well, what about Bruce? Does he hang out with other sharks or is he always by himself?
Hang out with other sharks.
And what about great white sharks? So let's look. I Googled, are great white sharks social animals? So we know that social means that they hang out with in groups or with others. So we have here, it says, they are sometimes seen in pairs or small groups. Great white sharks can be very social animals. So is that a similarity or a difference?
A similarity.
Yes, it is. That great white sharks and Bruce are social, right? They like to be around others. Does anyone have another similarity or difference between our great white sharks and Bruce? So we're going to talk about more character relationships today. In movies and in a lot of like stories and books and stuff, characters change throughout the story or throughout the movie. And Finding Nemo, our characters are definitely changing. And their relationships, the way that they connect with each other, also change throughout the movie. So we want to make notes about our characters and their relationships throughout the entire movie, so we can see how do these characters change and how do their relationships change. So let's talk about Dory and Marlin some more. So from the time that they meet each other to the time that they actually get to Sydney, Australia, what troubles did they go through together? What are some things that went wrong or some problems that they had? Who can tell me one?
Jellyfish.
Yep. So they found themselves in the middle of a large group of jellyfish. Good job. Bill, tell me.
Dory had a accident.
And what was her accident?
The jellyfish had hurt her.
Okay. And Dory got stung badly. Yeah. Kent, tell me another trouble that they experienced on their trip.
They be getting with the shark chased them.
Mm-hmm. They got chased by the sharks. Okay, good job. What else do we have? So if you have your booklet in front of you, we are going to be, you can fill this out. We're on part 3 now. You can fill this out on page 41. Okay, so character relationship table between Marlin and Dory. So everything I write on the screen, you can fill out on this chart here. And then at the conclusion, I will type in red at the bottom. So wait, that'll be at the end. Okay, so we're just figuring out events that happened, how they acted, what they said, what they thought, and then we'll be able to figure out what is up with their relationship, what's going on. Okay, who else has another problem that they experienced? So after they escaped the sharks and then the bombs went off, they woke up in the goggles, right? Do you remember that part?
Yes.
Then what happened there? What happened with the goggles?
It fell
And where did the goggles fall?
down in the ocean.
Mm-hmm. And then what happened once they got down there?
They
Do you know the type of fish that was?
no.
Okay, I'll tell you. So the goggles dropped down to the deep ocean where they got chased by an angler fish. You want to see a picture of an angler fish in real life? I'll show you because they're crazy looking. So this is a real type of fish. Yeah, gross, right? Is that a nice looking fish? Who wants to eat this guy? No? So they live all the way deep down, and then they have the little glowing part on the front of their faces. And let's see, why do you think they have this glowing part?
To attract fish or insects deep in the ocean because the fish will be surprised because seeing a light there and thought in food and will go to the light and the fish will eat it.
Yep, that's correct. And is that what happens in the movie?
Yes.
Yep, it is. So that is exactly why they have that little light. So it attracts other fish to them. And then these fish, the anglerfish, don't have to go around looking for food. The food comes directly to them. Makes it much easier for them to get food. So what is another problem that these fish experienced? Mid-A.
When Nigel and the two fish come to the dentist's house, the dentist throw Nigel away with the Dory and Marlin.
Okay, is that still in part 3? Did they get to the dentist's office in part 3? Let's just talk about the part where they're still in the ocean. So we have the jellyfish problem, we have the shark problem, we have the anglerfish problem. Is there any other problems? Ling-Chi, what else? Zero, do you have another one?
I watched the movie one time, but only one. How
That's
I know?
okay. But A, you seem to know.
They got eaten by a whale.
Yes, they also got swallowed and stuck in a whale. These are a lot of troubles that happened, right? They've been through a lot together. So now let's talk about, let's go back to the part where the mask gets dropped in the deep sea. So they're sleeping in the mask. They wake up, Dory drops the mask, and it's falling all the way down. What does Marlin do at this point? James, do you remember? What does Marlin do as the mask is falling down into the ocean?
She go down and read the words on the mask.
Yep, so Marlin wants to go and chase it, right? So he's going by himself. He's freaking out. He's swimming really fast after it. And then what does he do?
He followed the mask.
Okay, does he follow it all the way down at first?
No.
No, what happens? It starts to get really dark, and then what?
So he stopped.
Mm-hmm. So when it starts to get really dark, he stops and does what?
And goes back and get really upset or
Yeah, he gets upset, right? So when it starts to get really dark, he stops and goes back up because he is afraid. Remember? Okay. So that's what Marlin does. And then what does Dory do after this? Feng Tao, what does Dory do when she sees that Marlin is afraid to go into the dark, deep ocean? Does she tell him, "You're right, Marlin. It is way too scary to go down there. Let's go do something else"?
No,
What does she do?
I don't remember because I watched this movie long time ago.
Okay, so who remembers? What does Dory do? Lily?
Dory grabbed Marlin's fin and then sang like, "What do we do with him?" and pull him down into the dark.
All right, so also Dory grabs his fin, starts to sing, "Just keep swimming," and leads him down to the bottom of the ocean. Okay, good job. So Marlin is afraid, and Dory's like, "Nope, I got you. Let's hold fins, and we're gonna go down and do it even though it's scary." So is this Dory being a good friend, or is it Dory being a bad friend?
It's being a good friend.
She's being a good friend. She sees her friend is afraid, and she helps him to be less afraid because she knows that they need to go get this mask. So after they get the address for P. Sherman, Marlin, do you remember Marlin's like, okay, Dory, I think that we should go our separate ways now. Okay, you've helped enough. I'm going to go by myself and you go on by yourself. And then they meet the big school of fish that does all the different impressions, right? They make the swordfish and then the lobster and then the boat with the shooting fish off of the boat. Do you remember this? So, Dino, what happens at the end of this? What do the school of fish tell Dory when they're going? They tell them the directions to the current. And what do they tell Dory to do when they get to the trench?
To swim under, not over the something.
Yep. So the school of fish tell Dory to swim through the trench. But when they get to the trench, what happens? Elsa, what happens when they get to the trench? Dory's like, look, Marlin, I think that we should swim through. I can't remember why. And what does Marlin do? What does Marlin want to do? He wants to swim through the trench, or he wants to swim over the trench?
Over.
Yep. But Marlin insists that they swim over. We'll say they swim over it. Because why? Why does Marlin want to swim over the trench, not through it? Jon Snow, do you remember? Because Marlin is what? How does Marlin feel about this trench?
What?
How does Marlin feel about the trench? He doesn't want to swim through it because it's kind of dark. He doesn't really know what's there. He wants to swim through clear water. What's wrong with swimming through the trench?
The sword change is very not clean.
Okay, so we know it's not clean. It's dark. And Marlin feels how, Ciro?
Marlin feels, yes, he is afraid, is scared. And next he's thinking that Dory is forgetful, so he forgets the way.
Yep. So even though the fish tell Dory to swim through it, Marlin insists they swim over it because he's afraid. So at this point, Kent, do you think that Marlin trusts Dory? Does Marlin trust her or not? Not yet.
Marlin.
Really? Which one? Does he trust her or he does not trust her yet?
Does not trust her.
Last part. What did Marlin do when Dory got stung by the jellyfish? Did he leave her there? Everyone's shaking their head no. So we'll say Marlin went back into the jellyfish to save Dory. So from all of these things, and let's say Ming Chao, does this mean that Marlin is becoming a better friend to Dory, or is he the same?
He is a better friend to Dory.
Yep. So Marlin is acting like a better friend to Dory, but he still doesn't trust her yet, we know. So we can say, as our conclusion here, Marlin and Dory experience a lot of troubles together. Dory helps Marlin when he's afraid. Marlin rescues Dory and is becoming a better friend to her, but he still doesn't trust her all the way. Okay, so the relationship is getting stronger, right? They're becoming friends. You know, Dory helps Marlin, Marlin helps Dory, but Marlin still doesn't trust her. Squirt and Crush. So this is our turtle family here. Let's think, what does Crush think about Squirt doing things by himself? Does he like it when Squirt does things by himself, or does he want Squirt to need help? Minnie, do you remember?
He is proud of him.
Crush is proud of Squirt for being independent. What does Crush think about Squirt doing things on his own?
He thinks he will be safe.
Mm-hmm. So, Crush wants Squirt to be able to do things by himself, right? And do you know, is this similar or different to how Marlin is with Nemo?
Very different.
Yep, very different. Because Marlin wants Nemo to do what?
To be safe.
Yeah. Okay. And remember the part when they're swimming along the current and Squirt gets sucked out? And then he's able to swim back in? How does Squirt feel when he's able to swim back into the current by himself?
Very happy.
Yeah. And happy and what? When you can finally do something.
And proud.
Yep. So we'll say Squirt is proud of himself. Okay. And what does Crush do? Or what does Crush say when Squirt is able to get back into the current by himself? That is so
amazing. Totally amazing.
well, I think he says something along the lines of, that is so totally awesome, dude. Okay. Yeah. So from all of these thoughts, feelings, and quotations, we can conclude that Crush loves his son Squirt. He wants him to be independent and is proud when he can do things by himself. Say Squirt is proud of himself when he is able to escape danger alone. Okay, so that is a very different relationship than Nemo and Marlin. So we have one last thing to do. Okay, so we're gonna fill out this jellyfish and turtle Venn diagram. So we want to know what is similar about jellyfish and turtles and what is different about them. So who can tell me a similarity and a difference and something, who can tell me similarities or differences? But A, tell me something.
They can swim.
Did jellyfish swim? Ming Chao, do you remember?
Yes.
What did they do instead? How did they move through the ocean? Sierra, do you remember? How did jellyfish move through the ocean?
They move up, and up.
Uh-huh. So we can say jellyfish are carried through the ocean while sea turtles swim through the ocean. Okay, what's another similarity or a difference?
They both live in the ocean.
Yep. Live in the ocean. Okay, what else is similar or different about these guys? Ling Chi, tell me.
Sea turtles have bones and jellyfish don't.
Okay. Have bones and jellyfish, no bones. Okay. What else do we know that's different about these guys? B? What are sea turtles use to swim? Do you know what these are called?
No. Paddles.
Flippers. And what about these on the jellyfish here? These are called